This man was thrown off a building and then miraculously reborn at 18 years old. This time, he wanted to change his tragic future. The first thing he did was to wake up earlier than his classmates and run for 2 hours to make his body stronger and healthier. Because he used to be a poor student, he decided to pay attention in class and take diligent notes, even studying while eating, without wasting any time. His diligent attitude towards studying even caught the eye of the beautiful female teacher in his class, who rewarded him with 2 books. The class's bad girl asked Henry why he suddenly changed so much. In response, Henry advised her to study hard, or else she would regret it later in life. The bad girl rolled her eyes at him, but soon something would happen that would make Henry regret it for the rest of his life. That night, when he returned home and saw his parents who had just finished work, he greeted them. However, a car appeared not far away, and he suddenly remembered something. He ran out with all his strength, but the car still headed towards his parents and hit them, sending them flying. He felt despair even though he had been reborn. He couldn't change the fate of his parents' death. Suddenly, he woke up from his nightmare. He looked at the calendar in the classroom and remembered that tomorrow was the day of his parents' car accident in his previous life. In this life, he had to save his parents' fate. That night, he told his parents not to go to work tomorrow, but they refused because they needed to make money. So, he went to the location of the accident in his previous life, using his experience as a prosecutor to determine the exact time of the accident. He examined the surroundings and then went to the factory where his parents worked to pick them up after work. He ran to his mother's side and asked her to walk on the inside. His mother was very happy, and the family happily walked home. Finally, the time came, and he looked up to see the car that had killed his parents in his previous life. He rushed to his parents and protected them, and the car passed by them. Henry breathed a sigh of relief. He had finally saved his parents. At this point, the father noticed a strange car in the distance, and Henry turned to look. The other car flashed its high beams, and the brightness made it difficult for him to keep his eyes open. He quickly pushed his parents away, but the car still headed towards them and hit them. Henry cried out in despair for his parents. He couldn't believe that even though he had been reborn, he still couldn't save his parents. He stood up unsteadily, walked towards his parents in despair, and wondered if he had become a child without parents again. He leaned on the car and couldn't accept this reality. Suddenly, he heard his parents' anxious voices and immediately ran to check their injuries. Fortunately, they were okay, and they were more concerned about their son. When the police arrived, Henry stood up and walked towards them. He wanted to see who had caused the accident that killed his parents in his previous life. Unexpectedly, it was different from his previous life. The driver who drove under the influence of alcohol died on the spot. When Henry saw the driver, he was shocked to find that it was Ken, the son of Senator Kim. No wonder in his previous life, when he became a prosecutor, Ken recognized him at first glance, and no wonder he could never find the culprit. Senator Kim had covered up his son's crime, and in his previous life, he was also pushed off a building by Senator Kim's men. In this life, he was determined to bring him down.